The bulls kick the bears in the teeth, making them gummy bears. How high can we go? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay guys, so in yesterday's video we talked about a few different paths, two of them as my primary paths looking lower and one where the market pushed higher that I really didn't like. Now the market took the path I didn't like and pushed higher, and sometimes that does happen. Now the question is, how high can the bulls go? I'll get into that in just 1 second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP500 and the NASDAQ. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, a little bit of a curveball. If you've been watching the channel, you know that EWT does struggle sometimes in the micro counts. I preach that all the time. It is its biggest weakness, and we got a little bit of that yesterday. So let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, so here we are on the 1 hour SPX chart. And I'm on the SPX today. I'm normally on the futures chart, but the SPX has a much cleaner structure and easier to see. So I came onto that one today. So the numbers might be just a little bit different. So what we're looking at potentially, okay, and I say potentially because you have a lot of overlap here. You have a move up, a move down. So if you count that as 1, 2, okay, well then you get 3 up. Well, this comes down into wave 1 territory. You get no bounce. You get back down into wave 1 territory. Then you get a move higher. So a lot of overlap here. So we're kind of waiting for more information, but we do have counts that we're looking to play out and want to see what we get before we kind of see what our next move is. And this is the biggest weakness in Elliott Wave Theory, is trying to figure out these micro counts. The macro has had us on a path towards 4,300 since last October, and that macro is playing out pretty strongly. We've already made it up to 4,200, and it does look like the bulls have some energy left to get to that 4,300 level. So in the macro sense, Elliott Wave is one of the most incredible indicators you can use. However, in the micro counts, it does have its weaknesses. So the counts that we're looking at, okay, in the micro sense, would be that we completed wave 3 here at this high. We got a wave 4 down, and then we got an ending diagonal for 5 where you have 1 up, 2 down, 3 up, 4 down into wave 1 territory, and then 5 back up here over the wave 3 high. That can push up to about as high as 4180. You don't want to see it go too much higher than that, maybe 4175. But it really should be contained by this bracket here, this top line, which would be in the 4160 area. They can do a little bit of a throw over into the 4070 area, but mostly we'd want to see this 4160 area kind of hold. And then we'd look for a pretty sharp move down from there back to the origination point in the 4070 to the 4080 area. And if they can break through 4070 directly, which has been very strong support over the last couple week and a half or so, if they can break through that directly, we can look for a bigger sell-off or a direct move down to the 4030 to 4020 area, which matches up with that 4050 to 4060 area we've been talking about on the ES. So if they can break directly through 4070, we would expect 4030 to 4020. If not, we would look for an A, B, C down into that area. Now, if they're unable to contain this move up, then it does look like we could potentially be in a bigger wave 3. We're off of this low. You have a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, and then you'd be in wave 3 to the upside. And if they take out this A wave high at 4,200, we would expect them to extend up to the 4220 to 4240 area before we see any kind of pullback. So if they can push directly out over this 4200 area, we would expect them to end up in the 4240 zone or 4220, and then look for a pullback in wave 4 from there, which should come back down to this area here, and then get 5 up to the 4,300 area we've been talking about since last October. So overall, the market is heading toward the macro targets, but in the micro, it is a little bit messy. So we're just waiting for some more information to see what we can find out about where we are in the micro counts. Over on the NASDAQ, okay, on the NASDAQ, we are still below this high and still well within the B wave resistance area. If they do push it over 13,248, then it could be an indication we're on our way higher from there. And so what we would look for is the NASDAQ to hold this area, okay, especially if the diagonal is playing out on ES, and then look for a move down in the C wave toward the 12,650 area to 12,630 area, and then potentially look for higher from there. And if not, okay, if they can push higher, if they are able to break out to the upside, they do have a potential 1-2 setup on the bigger picture, where instead of this being wave 3, this would be wave 5, and we'd have somewhat of a shallow wave 2. So you'd have wave 1, wave 2, wave 1 of 3, 2 of 3, and then you'd look for the breakout to the upside. And if they do break out to the upside, we'd be looking up toward the 13,610 area as a confirmation of a bigger breakout instead of just a new high. The 13,500 area is where we would look for this to stop as a bigger fifth wave. So this wave 5 can move up if they're able to keep it under the 13,500 area and pull back. However, if they break out over 13,610, it does look like we're already in wave 3 to the upside, and that would be a breakout that should carry strong momentum. So the NASDAQ, little different than the ES, as it has been kind of still playing by the rules a little bit more than ES has, but does have the capability to explode higher out of here, especially with this new low and this push higher up that does look like the start of a wave 3 type potential. So we got to see what we get tomorrow and into the next few days to kind of give us confirmation on where we're at in the counts. Again, the micro counts can be a little tough to deal with in Elliott Wave Theory. Guys, if you love the information that I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link, and it will take you right over to the website. Once you're there, check out our membership plans area. We have 2 incredible plans, and they both come with a 7-day free trial because I want you to get in there. I want you to make sure you love it and become part of the trading team before you ever spend a penny. You can cancel at any time. We just started our new training material. Our first course is the Elliott Wave for Beginners course. You can see here we have all of the videos on here that you can do as a self-paced training and learn Elliott Wave the way I teach it. It does come with both memberships, and in the first membership room, the Invest with Jacob room, you get all of my real-time market updates, all of my buy and sell alerts, all of your Elliott Wave questions answered, a midday video where I go over exactly where we are in the counts, as well as that training material you just saw. We trade the SPY and the QQQ, and we swing trade, which means our trades can last anywhere from a few days to a few months, so we don't trade quite as often as a day trading room does. However, if you are interested in day trading as well as individual stocks, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. In there, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as individual stocks, day trading, and PT's reduced risk binary method that absolutely crushes the market. He gets you in at a cheap price and gets you huge multiples on your money, and it's how he structures the trade that's so unique. It's something you really have to see to understand, and that's another reason we give you that 7-day free trial. He also started a challenge account where he put $4,000 into an account trading mini ES futures, showing you how to build a small account into a large retirement or savings account. Guys, we would love to have you in these rooms so we can all make money together. All right, key takeaways for today. Again, the micro count is very sloppy here. We have a lot of overlap, but it does look like we could have a potential diagonal playing out. If that's the case, we'd look for a pretty strong sell-off on the SPX down toward the 40.80 area and potentially a direct break of that 40.70 support. However, if they can't, we look for that ABC down and then hit that 40.20 to 30 area, which lines up with the 40.50 to 60 area we've been looking at on the ES futures chart. However, if they are ready to push higher in a more direct manner and do take out this A wave high, we would look for them to push to the 42.20 to 42.40 area before seeing any kind of pullback from there. Over on the NASDAQ, a little bit of a different setup. They are still under this high here and do have the potential for the C wave down, which would give us a ABC down, and then we'd start to look for wave 3 higher. However, it is possible they are in a bigger wave 3 if they can break out over 13,500 and ultimately 13,610 to signify that is happening. Guys, it's the weekend. Grab yourself a drink, enjoy your family, get away from the computer, and have a wonderful weekend. I will talk to you next week.